Hello everyone, I hope you're keeping well. So we've been at home for quite a long time now, not being able to go outside or to see our friends and family that we don't live with. And that might have been challenging or difficult for us at times. And sometimes when we experience challenges and difficulty, we can react and maybe be a bit unkind to ourselves or the people around us. I've talked quite a lot in our mindfulness lessons at school about responding rather than reacting and how mindfulness can help us with this. So today's video is a little bit of a reminder about that. And I'm also going to show you how you can make your own glitter jar. So carry on watching to find out how to do this. So now for the neuroscience. So neuroscientists who researched the brain came up with the term neuroplasticity because the brain is a little bit like plasticine. It's changeable and adaptable. So we have pathways in the brain. We could think of these as roads that are well travelled. So if we think a certain thought or we act a certain way, this strengthens those pathways in the brain. So that means that next time we think that way or we act a certain way, it becomes easier for us to do that the more that pathway is well trodden. And these might be helpful or unhelpful ways of thinking or acting. So every time we want to change a habit, we can maybe decide to think about things differently or to act differently. So every time we do this, that will start to strengthen the new pathway, and that will become stronger and weaken the old one. And this is how we can change our habits. So when we experience challenges and difficulty, we might feel a bit churned up, a bit like these glitter balls that I have here. So I've got lots of different coloured glitter balls. So let's have a little look at one of them. So just as the glitter is churning around inside, so too might our mind and bodies feel a bit like that when we deal with difficult situations. Maybe when we're feeling different emotions. We might be feeling a bit angry, or maybe a bit sad. Maybe even jealous. Maybe nervous. Or confused. I wonder what colours mean different emotions to you. When we experience difficult emotions, we might have developed unhelpful reactions of dealing with that, like falling out with friends or family and shouting or getting into arguments. And that might not be a very helpful way of responding to a situation. So with mindfulness, it helps us to bring a bit of a pause when we need it, when we're experiencing difficulty, so that we can bring some awareness to what's happening and how we're feeling, so we can learn to respond rather than react. So look what happens to the glitter. When we start to bring attention to our breath, you could place one hand on your chest or on your belly, just noticing as we bring attention to the breath, what happens to that glitter? It starts to settle. So when we're feeling all churned up from those difficult emotions when something's happened, we too can settle, just like the glitter in the glitter ball, and we can start to see things more clearly. And when we can see things more clearly, we can make better choices about how to respond rather than react to a certain situation. So we can make helpful choices to look after ourselves and be kind to ourselves and to the people around us. This week I'm going to show you how you can make your own version of glitter ball. I'm going to show you how you can make yourself a homemade glitter jar. And all you're going to need is a jar, some water and some glitter, and maybe a little bit of food colouring if you'd like to as well. And you can use this glitter jar to have a mindful minute of being with the breath, to help you to calm down whenever you need to throughout the week. So first of all, take the lid off your jar and then pour the water into the jar about 2/3 full. Next, take your glitter and sprinkle it into the jar, putting in as much as you want. Put the lid back on and give it a little shake and see if you've got enough glitter in the jar. You might decide at this point that you want to put a bit more glitter in. It's probably best to start with a little bit of glitter and then add more as you feel you need it. At this point, I've decided to put in some blue food colouring to give the water a bit of colour. I just put in a few drops. Again, if you want the colour to be darker, give it a shake, see what colour it turns out to be, and then you can add some more food colouring to darken the colour if you want to. Then when you're ready, pour the rest of the water in to fill up the jar. Screw on the lid very tightly so that when you shake it the water doesn't come out. And there you go, your very own glitter jar. If you'd like your glitter to take longer to fall to the bottom of the jar, then you'll need to add some glitter glue along with your loose glitter. I didn't have any glitter glue, so I tried it out with PVA glue instead to see if it would work. But as you can see here in the video, it didn't work and just made the water really cloudy. I had fun experimenting though, and if you're planning on using glitter glue, you'll need to experiment too, as the amount of glue you add will determine how long it will take for the glitter to settle. For this meditation, you can keep your eyes open and look at the glitter jar as you focus on your breath. So keeping the breath natural, we're going to count how many breaths in a minute. Breathing in, breathing out, we count 1 silently to ourselves. Breathing in, breathing out, we count 2, and we keep going. So your minute starts now. And bringing our mindful minute of being with the breath to a close. How many breaths did you count? I wonder if you feel more settled, just like the glitter in the glitter jar. So this week's home practice is to have a go at making your own glitter jar, like I showed you how to make today. And you can use this to practice having your own mindful minute and being with the breath whenever you need it throughout the week. Now, if you don't have the resources to make the glitter jar, you could imagine the glitter jar in your mind and still use it in the same way. If you do make yourself a glitter jar, you could do the meditation with your eyes open. So you could use your glitter jar and as you're breathing and paying attention to the breath, just watching the glitter as it settles down to the bottom as you continue to pay attention to the breath. Or you might want to do it with your eyes closed and use the counting, seeing how many breaths you have in a minute. There's different ways that you can approach this practice, but you can experiment and have a go and try different things. So enjoy.